Tonight, from London, England, it's the NFL International Series on EA Sports. We'll see Russell Wilson and the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to one of the great cities of the world, London, England. Welcome again, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway here in England. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
First carry for Najee Harris. Fighting through. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Their first play from scrimmage is a pickup of 13.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They go play action with Wilson. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Play action. It's Wilson. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch it, turn upfield, and pick up the first down.
Now 2nd and 9. Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
3rd and 2. Play action. Now Wilson. It's brought in by Harris. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Weather like this, always treacherous for kickers. A good sign early, though, as he's able to put that one through.
And you remember him right before the kick stomping around his area to make sure that things were going to hold for his plant foot, and it did.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And he returns this to the 22. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
The secret to his game and his success, incredible chemistry with each and every one of the guys who catches passes with it. And not only does he ask them to stay after practice or meet it before practice, he actually demands it because he knows if they have that kind of chemistry built up, they're going to be hard to beat each and every ball game.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Now Tua. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
2nd and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Flush to his right. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
The plan was clearly to challenge that by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 1, and Tua wants to throw it. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Steelers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Okay, partner. No surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Second and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. They'll send the tight end in motion. That is caught, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
This is 2nd and 8. Throwing is Wilson. A short one there to Fryermuth.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
This now a 3rd and 4. Now it's Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins 21. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage, when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. On the give, it's Warren. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. A handoff for Warren. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities. But as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Boswell's kick is good, and that will make it 6-0.
6
2 had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
So a couple of field goals now. 6-0 our score as the kick's away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So Miami coming out for their second drive. They find themselves down here after an interception on their opening drive led to a field goal. But all in all, you'd have to say fortunate to be only down 6.
Yeah, you know how teams huddle on the sideline before they come out on the field in between series? Guaranteed what's said there is, guess what, guys? We take this ball, move it downfield, and put it in the end zone, we're right back to even.
And he'll have a Dolphins first down as the tackle made here at the 36.
Plus, we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big game.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. And going deep for Hill. And that's going to be incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I know it was a game, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling. Held it to an okay game.
Oh, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. Taken in at the 22. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And shutting him off. Now open field. There he goes left side. Inside the 10. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris, 63 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Well now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Here's Achane to start the drive. And he stopped immediately there. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here's 2nd and 10. Running right, here's Achane. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Cole Holcomb. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for him on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
He's got this to Pickens. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Harris is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Najee Harris, well built for work down here near the end zone. That's a nice job there to hold him up. But I doubt we've seen the last of him on this drive.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Again, it's Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Steelers are able to widen their advantage. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
But he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Boswell for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Things, unfortunately, continuing to implode here. The interception he threw on the previous drive, of course, led to the touchdown. And that deficit widening a little bit further. 1st and 10. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10.
At about the 32. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
And I think we're all starting to wonder with this early deficit, what will that do to their play calling? Do they feel like they have to be more aggressive because they're throwing to start the drive here, but it winds up incomplete?
Back to the air on 2nd down, Tagovailoa.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Tua.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And that will come the offense as they take over.
The Steelers ready to take over on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From the 43, here's 2nd down and 8.
There's Wilson to throw.
They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now Wilson on first down.
A throw left side, caught by the tight end, Freiermuth.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That'll give him 8 that time, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Now a 2nd and 2. On the run, it's Warren.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Harris has it over the middle. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Here's Warren. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now a run with Warren.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
4 yards remain on 2nd down. Ball on the 10. On the give, this is Harris.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
To throw is Wilson. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up 4th.
Whenever I see an in route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Boswell's kick is good,
and that will extend their lead even further.
So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense. Oh, yes, that was good pressure applied that time by the defensive unit. They forced him out wide to his left, but with nobody home, he decided to tuck it and go. And he's able to turn it into a short gain.
Here's a 2nd and 5. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And Mostert going to pick up a Dolphins first down as he gets this up past the 40.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Now Achane on 1st and 10.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, Mostert.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I know flashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
A run straight ahead with Achane.
Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he's got this down to the 35. That one good for 13 at a Dolphin first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Achane on the counter.
He'll get a nice chunk there on a first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
This 2nd and 4. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. Quick throw there is incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
Here's Tua. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
And with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Back to the ground, Achane.
And A good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Here's 2nd and 3. Again, it's Achane.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Tua sets up to pass it. Over the middle to Smith. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jonnu Smith from 13 yards out.
And the Dolphins get a bit closer.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. Is this a touchdown? That's the question. CD, what are they looking for here?
You just need any part of the football to break the plane. You don't need the whole football. It doesn't need to go over the entire white line. It's just that front part of the white line. And if you draw an imaginary plane going straight up, that's what they need to cross.
So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane. Mostert.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Achane will take this in for the Dolphin touchdown.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And that makes it 23-7. So that drive spans 13 plays.
And it was Devon Achane who finished things off with a touchdown reception.
To the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The ball on the 32. It's 2nd and 2. Now Wilson. Well, a tough throw there across his body. It's incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
The offense on third down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They go play action now. Wilson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 39-yard line. Harris running straight ahead. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 96 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Pickens on the slant, and he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
They're going to run this with a tight end. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Connor Hayward, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers continue to pull away here in this first half.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown, and teams that look like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
Extra point now by Boswell. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Devon Achane of the offense ready to go once again.
So a 6-carry drive the last go-around, touchdown on the end of it. We'll see if they can duplicate that here.
I think that they would like to. I know every runner that we've ever met would love to carry the ball more and more and more. In fact, we keep a ball in the booth just for demonstration purposes.
You're holding it right now.
I'm going to give it to you. Is it heavy? Is it that heavy?
No, it's pretty light.
It's pretty light, right? So keep giving it to him and let him do his work. It's not going to slow him down.
If it's light for me, it's definitely light for him.
51 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Right back to Achane on second down.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. They'll run for it with Achane.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Yes, it's the first half, but we'll see if that stuff there on 3rd and 1 comes back to haunt him.
I hope you don't mind, but it's not going to stop me from putting a check mark next to this play. Let's look back as this game progresses and see if this is one of the key plays in the game, even though it occurred early.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson.
He finds Pickens over the middle.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Now it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
Well, he and his offense was staring down what was likely a 3 and out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the 1st. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down.
That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Wilson.
That's going to be caught by Pickens. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On first down, Wilson. This one brought in by Jefferson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
What a drive this has been. Just
now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Wilson. He's got his tight end Freiermuth. 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Now the Steelers to their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3. They hand this off to Harris, and he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Now here's another carry for Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Steelers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Boswell for the extra point. And the lead is now an even 30. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Devon Achane and the offense ready to go once again. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. Second down and 6 now. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Short throw to Smith. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And 3rd and 1 now.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Here's 2nd and 10. Tua going to throw. And he'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. Sanders' kick is good. And they'll make a small dent in that big deficit as it's down to 27. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 up to the 33. Now
comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at the 33-yard line.
Hand off to Achane to begin the drive.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. T.J. Watt, always a disruptor, there to blow that play up.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
First play of the drive, lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Achane here. They stay on the ground.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8.
Now Tua.
This one thrown underneath to Achane.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
A give, running right, Achane.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Right back to Achane on 2nd down.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory.
62 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing. Being play on 1st down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got 3rd and short.
Tua looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
George Pickens and the Steelers headed back out for another series.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. Play action. Now Wilson.
got an open man. It's Pickens.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They go play action with Wilson.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now it's Wilson.
He's got this to Williams, complete.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again is Wilson.
Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins 16. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Now Harris. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. There, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Wilson's throw pulled in by Jefferson. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Throwing is Wilson. This is caught. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Second and goal from the 1. They'll bring a tight end in motion.
Harris is into the end zone for a Steeler touchdown.
And And how nice is it to have a guy like when you get down near the goal line, he can use his 230-plus pound frame to just get you those tough yards, and he finishes things off here with a touchdown run.
Extra point now by Boswell. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
So now here come the Dolphins.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1, if people want to run the football, this is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On first down, back to Achane.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
2nd down and 3. Out of the gun, here's a give to Achane.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
My high school football coach was very fond of saying, you've got to meet force with force. And on a short yardage running play, that's what you're going to encounter. And how about them picking up the first down on that one?
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Well, they'll run it here on the... And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Play action. It's Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force fourth down after that 7-yard pickup back on first.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works. Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 87 yards rushing for him now as he's toted it 21 times.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Up the middle, Achane. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to pass. Tua, short throw to Smith. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. A run straight ahead with Achane. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. And they'll give this to Achane. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37. A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Achane on the counter.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
They go back to the ground, this time Mostert.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. He'll drop to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 21. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense. Hey, check back.
Setting to throw on 1st down is Tua. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. And again, it's Tagovailoa.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. It's the ex-Dolphin, Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help steal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And now out come the Steelers. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. They'll start on the ground with Harris.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight-ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Second down and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
On second down, this is Harris. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Miami set to take over. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. He had to absorb another little bump there from the defense, another incomplete pass. We've seen a lot of that tonight.
They've come after him all night long. Nothing but pressure in his face. He's trying to stand up there and make throws. It's hard enough to do when the pocket is clear. When you got all those people in front of you, almost impossible to have a good completion percentage.
And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Tua to throw again. This is Smith with a grab. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Tua. On target over the middle to Hill. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Tua wants to throw it on 2nd down. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Tua sets up to pass it.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Tua.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Again, it's Harris on second down.
And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Now Wilson.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but, Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
Miami's offense set and ready to go. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10
at their own 18.
To his throw, complete there to Smith.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down.
Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down, Tua. Being chased out left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
On 1st down, Tagovailoa. They complete it to Hill. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Great changeup there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
But the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. They'll drop to throw.
Throw caught by Achane.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards there, down to the 18 and a 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On the handoff, it's Achane.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Achane.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On 3rd down, here comes Mostert.
And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the 1st down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
Field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th.
They'll go. Achane.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead drops from 34 to 27. That time a 9-play drive.
And the drive finished off with a touchdown run from Devon Achane.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And Najee going to have a Steelers 1st down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll run again with Harris. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. Big Calais Campbell fighting through to make the play in the backfield. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football, has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night, everybody.